This DIY is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the DIY Designer. For those of you that are new, hi, my name is Orly. I'm so glad that you found me. And for those of you that are not new, thanks for being here for another one. I appreciate you tremendously. Today is all about Mother's Day gifts. I wanted it to be something that looked like chic and sophisticated and expensive, like something that like your mom or your sister or your wife or whoever you're making this for, something that they might find in a store, like in an Anthropologie type store. We're gonna make really gorgeous pressed flower floating coasters. I originally made these on Home and Family on the Hallmark channel, and what I was asked to do was to create resin coasters. If you've ever worked with resin, it is a real pain in the butt. I feel like it's impossible to make it perfect. There's always bubbles. It's always like a section that gets kind of cloudy. It's just annoying. I came up with the ultimate hack for this. You can put photos inside if you want, or just the floating flowers, whatever you want. But when you see how this comes together, your mind's gonna explode. Now, the second one is something that you can do yourself, or if you have kids that they can do. We're gonna be making custom stationery. This is such a beautiful gift. They can be used as thank you cards, regular note cards, something that you could create and wrap up beautifully and give to whoever you're celebrating on this Mother's Day. And I just want to thank my friends over at Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Thank you so much. Guys, if you have not checked out Skillshare, I cannot recommend it enough. There are thousands of really fun courses no matter what you want to learn right now while you are stuck in the house. Skillshare has got it. A new one that I'm really excited about is this podcasting course by the Almost 30 podcast. That right there, that is Lindsay Simsick. She's actually one of my best friends and the co-host of one of the biggest podcasts in the world. They're going to show you how you can start your very own podcast right now during this downtime. Everything from recording clear, crisp audio, from the microphone to the equipment that you could potentially need, how to position yourself, and very importantly, how to get yourself featured on New and Noteworthy. They have some inside info on what Apple is actually looking for on that home page when it comes to your logo. So I want you guys to click that link in my description below. The first 1,000 of you to click it will get Skillshare Premium for 2 months free. And for the rest of you, it's just $10 a month after that for all of their thousands of courses. All right, so let's get right into the first project and materials. All right, so here are our 4-inch acrylic rounds, and you can see they look kind of cloudy, and that's because there's a protective plastic on each side, keeping it crystal clear. I only recommend peeling the inside layer first. That way the side that's sitting on your surface can stay protected. Now grab all of your pressed flowers. Obviously, you could use your own pressed flowers, or you could buy some. I have a bunch linked, and you're just gonna start creating your design. As you move your flowers around, make sure that you're putting your flower on top of the finger to slide them and not on the actual plexiglass so that it stays nice and clear. Once you come up with your design, before you put the second piece on top, that's when you have time to fine tune, tweak, make any adjustments you want. Put the second one on top and then peel the other side, the outer layer that was facing the bottom of your surface. Once it's crystal clear, you might want to make a few changes. Something about that perfect crystal clear changes things. So I added a little brighter purple behind my pale purple to give it some more dimension. And now we're going to grab the copper tape. So our acrylic rounds are 1/8 inch wide each, and our copper tape is 1/4 inch wide. So when you put your 2 acrylic rounds together, the 1/4 inch tape fits it perfectly. This is gonna do 2 things. One, it's gonna give a nice, clean, crisp, pretty edge to the outside, and you can use any color metal that you want. The other thing is it's obviously going to seam it up, connecting the 2 pieces together. That way the flowers stay pressed and sandwiched. You wanna make sure that you're squeezing the 2 acrylic rounds together super tight while you actually add and smooth out all of your tape. Now you can see it's done. That's it. Like, that's how quickly these come together. So I am going to show you a couple more so you get an idea of design. Again, peel only the centers. That way those are the only ones that are exposed. If any of your flowers have kind of a thicker stem, you're going to want to cut those off. Otherwise, the acrylic rounds aren't going to be sandwiched together really flat. I started coming up with different designs and colors. I knew I was gonna be doing a set for my mom, a set for my grandma, a set for my sister. So I kind of started working in these very specific color tones for each set, and you'll see that at the end. Again, take your copper tape or whatever colored metal tape you're using and just wrap it around. Once you go around twice, you wanna do it double, just rip it. Now, if you guys want to do pictures, you can totally do that. I recommend cutting the picture small. That way you still get the floating effect of it. You could make it the entire size of the acrylic round, but I think that clear floating look of these is what's really amazing. And look how beautiful that looks. It's so pretty, the mix of flowers and pictures. As I kept going, what I realized was that the less flowers I actually used, the more expensive it looked. So as I keep going, I get like daintier and daintier and daintier. And again, you're gonna see those at the end. Each set that I did, I had like neutral tones, one pop of purple and one pop of pink. Do you see that one there on the right? That's my favorite one. It is so dainty and delicate. The look of these, when you put just a little bit in there, the more clear acrylic that you have, the more expensive it looks, or at least that's what I found. Again, I could imagine a set of like 5 or 6 of these selling in Anthropologie for like $80 because that crystal clear quality is not easy. And you can see there, that's my favorite one. Look how dainty that is. They're gorgeous. So basically you're just gonna create as many as you want. I recommend doing a ton of them because you can just buy all the materials. It'll save you money because obviously you don't need to use that many flowers, and then you can stack them up as gifts. So again, I stacked up about 5 per family member that I wanted to do them for. You can see it looks really pretty from the side, and even from the top when all the flowers layer on top of each other, it's still really cool. But I just wanted to show you, these are the ones that I made almost a year ago. They still are in perfect condition. They're sitting right on my table. We use them every day, and you don't have to only do circles. All right, so on to the next one. This is a piece of poster board that my kids painted. That's what you're gonna do. Step 1 is grab a large piece of poster board, set your kids up with some pretty paints, and let them go to town. It doesn't need to be perfect, it doesn't need to be pretty, because we're gonna be chopping them up into smaller pieces. And there's something about taking a piece of art, cutting it into small pieces and having these sections that make everything look really like finished and beautiful. I cut them into 2 sizes. One was this, they were like 5x7 cards. Then I took the other set of 5x7s and cut them in half again. And I'm gonna show you 2 different things that you can do. So here are my 5x7s. Folded in half like a folding note card, just like a simple note card. What I realized though is the proportion was a little off. They were a little like tall and skinny. So I just laid it down and I cut off an additional inch, and now those proportions felt much better. I did it for all of the larger ones, so I ended up with a set of about 8 folding note cards. Again, perfect for thank you cards. This is an old set that I did. These colors are really beautiful. They pop. It was acrylic paint, so they're like textured and thick. Really, anything you do is gonna look beautiful. Now, for the smaller ones, I'm taking old thank you cards that I don't ever use because they're just like not my style and I don't like them. I'm going to put my painted piece on top of it, but I want to have about 1/4 of an inch border. You know how when you have like fancy invitations and stuff, it's always matted, right? It's got the text on a piece of paper and then that's matted on a thicker piece of cardstock. That's the effect we're gonna do. So I cut my note cards, my smaller ones, so that they were 1/4 inch smaller than my original thank you cards. Now I just glued them on with a little bit of glue from a glue stick, and I did try hot glue. Glue stick definitely worked best. And you want to make sure to get your edges. So what I did is I just kind of put my edge in the middle of my card. That way the excess glue ended up where I was going to be needing glue anyway. And I got to have all of my edges really crisp. I laid it down. I loved the way it came out on these black note cards. Something about that crisp black border really makes them feel expensive. Once you're done, you want to take all of them and you want to flatten them with some heavy books. Not only is that going to make them sit really clean and crisp, but it's gonna make sure that that glue on all the 4 edges stays really strong. I grabbed some small envelopes that I had so that I'm making a full stationery set. So you wanna grab your artwork plus your envelopes, and then what I thought would be really nice is to write on the back like art by Blake or art by Connor or yourself. That way they know that these are custom, one-of-a-kind, handmade cards. And I obviously did the same thing with the black ones, and I did those across the center back. And what I did is grab some of that really pretty like iridescent clear cellophane. It's such an easy way to wrap things, and it takes 2 seconds to do. So basically you put it in the center, you wrap it up and tie a bow. When I first did it, I just did it with whatever cording I had, but I end up swapping it out for a really pretty white ribbon that feels much more Mother's Day-ish. You can see you're gonna wrap the coasters in the exact same way. This is a perfect thing you could drop in someone's mailbox or on someone's front door right now. You could of course put these in the mail and send them across country for whoever you want. But these are such beautiful, expensive looking Mother's Day gifts that they are absolutely gonna love because they're one of a kind and handmade.